Bitcoin on the verge of breaking $100,000 and screaming up to $150,000 over the course of the next few weeks. We've got alt season just around the corner, but when is it going to actually start? That's what I'm going to cover in today's video, so hit that like button and let's jump into it. All right, so we got Bitcoin on the verge of breaking $100,000. As of this recording, it has hit $99,000. It's very possible it has broken $100,000 by the time this video comes out, but I can't even keep up with the price of Bitcoin with my videos because it's just been going so crazy lately. In between recording and editing and getting them out to you, I just can't keep up with the price of Bitcoin, which is a good thing. So I'm going to do the best I can to get these videos out to you in a timely fashion, but there is a slight delay, and if the price action is a little bit different, I apologize. Let's jump into what's going on with it here. So we are currently at $3.4 trillion. Bitcoin has hit 99,000, and I'm expecting it to break 100,000 at any point. So if we take a look at the Bitcoin dominance chart here, you can see Bitcoin's already broken 61%. Now it's very possible that we keep climbing into the mid to high 60% wise for the Bitcoin dominance before we get any kind of pullback and a true alt season. If we take a look at last bull run, we got all the way up to 74% with Bitcoin before we had a big dump down into like 40% for the dominance of Bitcoin and got that big alt season when that happened. Now it does seem to be declining with each bull run where Bitcoin dominance peaks out before we correct down and have an alt season. So we don't know for sure how high Bitcoin dominance is going to go before we correct and have this alt season. But I want to show you what I think my price targets are for Bitcoin over the next few weeks and few months here. So if you take a look at the Bitcoin chart here, you know, we did hit 99,000 for a little bit as of this recording, but you know, it's saying that the next target would be 102,000. Now, it's very possible that we've hit that by the time this video comes out, but if not, I'm expecting us to break 100,000 here over the next few weeks potentially, and then we'll take a look at what happened last cycle to kind of give us an idea of what could be coming. If you take a look at the last cycle here with Bitcoin on the weekly chart, through October, November, and December, we kept climbing the chart here. And then in the first week of January was basically when we started to get a little bit of a pullback in January. And then we took off again up into February and March of that cycle and into April before we got a big correction in May during that cycle last bull run. We take a look at the Bitcoin monthly returns chart here. As you can see, back in 2023, we had 4 green months in a row with September, October, November, and December. And then this time around, we've been green in September, October, and almost 40% gains in November. If we look at the previous cycles back in 2020, that would be 4 years ago after that having, we had a green October, November, and December. In November and December, we climbed 40% in each month. So it is possible that we could do the same this time around, and if we were to hit 40% in December, that's going to put us at like $140,000 Bitcoin at the end of December. So that is a possibility. Now, sure, there may be some diminishing returns, but I thought that with this time around, and we've already hit 40% in November, and the month isn't even over yet, so it's not out of the question for us to hit like 150,000 Bitcoin by January, potentially, with how things are going here with Bitcoin just going nuts. So that's not out of the question. So we take a look at the Bitcoin Pi cycle top indicator here. The two averages here, the two moving averages, are still way away from each other. They're not close to each other at all, so I don't think we're near any kind of cycle top. I think we're going to keep climbing up like we have in the past, and our cycle top is probably going to be in the second half potentially of 2025, or maybe late first half. We don't know, but you know, it's possible we do get a summer correction in 2025, so that is something that we need to be aware of. If we get that summer correction, things are going to be really dumping hard potentially in May with Bitcoin and alts, but obviously every cycle is a little bit different, so that may or may not happen, but it is something that I'm waiting and looking for. So the big question here is, when are we going to get our alt season? Now, the thing that we really need to keep a look at is that Bitcoin dominance chart. When that starts dropping, that's when we're going to get our true alt season. If you take a look at the chart for ETH versus Bitcoin here, you know, you can see that the chart is almost bottoming out. I would expect that somewhere when we get down to the bottom here in this range, is when we're going to probably bottom out and then start getting our alt season when we start taking off here. When you start seeing ETH climb against Bitcoin here, that's when our alt season is on. That's what's going to happen here when we truly start to get an alt season. So I'm expecting that to start happening potentially in January. I wouldn't expect to see too many of the mid caps to low caps and micro caps take off until January, February, and into March. That's when I think those will really start taking off. So I know it's really painful right now with your portfolios that not a lot of things are taking taking off. Some of the big caps are starting to make some gains because there is more liquidity flowing into those big caps, and meme coins, of course, because meme coin season seems to be all the time. But eventually meme coin season is going to die out for a period of time. People are going to lose interest in memes, and then that money is going to start flowing into some of these other alts, like especially AI and gaming. There's going to be different narratives in this bull run. It's not just going to be meme season like everybody's saying on X and Telegram and stuff. Everybody's complaining about meme season. That happened last cycle too. We've had plenty of meme seasons last cycle, but alt season really did kick off and take off as well. Memes are always going to have their place in crypto. I don't dabble in them too much because, you know, it's really difficult to tell which ones are going to do okay, which ones are going to do really well, and which ones are going to be rug pulls and dump on you. So it's really risky. So I just play a little bit of money in those, and I don't put too many out there on my channel because they're so risky, and I don't want people losing money, because sometimes I'll mention a coin on my channel and people just go crazy and go all in on it, which is foolish. Don't ever jump into a coin just because I'm mentioning it on my channel and saying that I'm buying it. Make sure you do your own research, and a lot of the coins I talk about on my channel are high risk, so you don't want to jump all in on those. Those are for, you know, smaller plays in your portfolio. The bigger caps that are in the top, you know, 50 in crypto are the ones that you want to have most of your portfolio made out of, because those are safer coins. So definitely be aware of that, and don't just go absolutely crazy into any coin out there that potentially a small cap or micro cap, because you can lose everything in those coins potentially. So be careful of that. But that's pretty much what I wanted to cover in this video, guys. I think once we get going into early next year, we'll see that alt season like we have in the past. Please hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm, and we'll see you on the next video.